Hey guys, I just wanted to go ahead and do the January favorites and everything that's been going on. I know it's not quite the end of the month, but there has been so much happening. And I just had to share. I'm so excited. I've traveled a lot for work this month, so I've gotten to go to a lot of metaphysical shops, not in my town, and it's been exciting because I have some goodies to share and just what's been really working for me. Let's start. Actually, can we start? Let's talk about the full moon. And I know we have another one on January 31st. So that full moon on New Year's Day was amazing. It was so amazing. I know a lot of people. I saw a lot of people talking about like all the feels. I literally was getting like beamed from above. I have those moments, and it just so happened, and I didn't necessarily like whenever I've had massive amounts of downloads and just things. I'm having to write them down. Like there's so much coming to me. It's almost like I was pretty calm when it's happening. I was just like kind of rolling with it, but I was like, whoa, this is a lot of information. Like what in the world is going on? But that full moon, it was in Cancer, right? And just to make it even more amazing or more complicated, I've been trying to like learn more about sidereal astrology. That is also, I guess that's like Eastern astrology with the Western tropical astrology. So I was curious because of how it was affecting me. So the moon was in Cancer, which I'm a Sun in Cancer in the 12th house. So even more reason like how I could have gotten all these downloads. But also in sidereal astrology, I'm a Sun in Gemini, and that moon was in Gemini in sidereal astrology. So either way, it was hitting my sun. So whatever whatever it was doing in my 12th house. So I just was having, but the downloads I was getting was all around like our power as like with empaths, highly sensitive people, and motherhood. It was so many beautiful things, and I didn't know necessarily like how to share it with you guys. I did do a little like a Insta story that night around empaths and our power. I have a beautiful sister of mine who she has like I've tried to help her too because like I know like as women we're already very feely anyway. We're more on that end naturally, but I was just trying to like help her because she's younger than me. Like there's quite a bit of age difference. So I was trying to help her as well as like thinking for like other empaths, like people that feel. I know it can get overwhelming. I know it can be, it's like euphoric and then the pit of despair, right? And it's just, it's all the feels. And I know it can get overwhelming, and I know it can just feel. I know. I understand. I understand. It can get so overwhelming, and like even if something is basic, like you could be having a great day and just start feeling all the feels for the entire world at once. Or like when I became a mom, I felt for every single baby on earth. Like I just like was kind of crying that I couldn't. I was like, I knew my daughter was getting all that love and nurturing from me, and I was so sad that I couldn't necessarily help out other children or all the other babies in the world. I'm like, in case they weren't getting that same love. Not to say like I don't want to be a mom to every person, but I felt bad for every baby that didn't necessarily have like a really wasn't in a really good situation, if that makes sense. Just I felt for any baby that was like I just felt for all the babies in the world. I was like, I just wanted to be able to be like, like a mother goddess, earth goddess, and just take care of all the babies. But with that said too, so like in regards to like the motherhood messages I got, I had like through in case anyone's interested, I was going to share. So I really stuck to like my values and like my intuition with being a mom and like how I wanted to have my baby. I had her in a hospital, but I wanted a natural childbirth, which I luckily was able to have a natural childbirth. But I had a few people, including like, I had a few people that were like, why don't you just get an epidural? And I was like, it was just a weird situation where I just was like, if I hadn't felt strong in my opinion and like what I knew to be right for me, I could have easily been swayed. So it was like if I had been wishy-washy, I would have been like, oh, okay, you're right, I'll just do whatever you think. Instead of doing what I felt and knew was best for me and my baby, which ended up being the best thing anyway. I was glad I was prepared for a natural childbirth because the way it happened, like I ended up going to the hospital in the middle of the night and they sent me home and because nothing was happening. And then I went home, my water breaks. And then when I get back to the hospital, I was already 10 centimeters, or yeah, 10 centimeters. Yeah. Centimeters, millimeters, whatever. Yeah, I was already fully dilated when I got back to the hospital. So I was like, I didn't really have a, I was like, I'm glad that was what my plan was. So either way, but I was just thinking about like how, yeah, like we really do need to trust our intuition. And this is for anything, but motherhood, obviously, lots of intuition comes in during that time, right? And also like with raising her when she was a baby, because I basically just took a big sabbatical from work and stayed home with her every day for 7 months. It was so beautiful, and I was really grateful to be able to just like work from home minimally and be able to have that time with her. And I remember I breastfed her. She only used like a bottle maybe like 5 times. But I remember even then, sorry if this is too much, but I just had to share because again, I'm like, I'm a mom, and these were some of the messages that were coming to me that night. One of the big things was I had a few people that they meant well, but they were like, oh, when she takes a nap, just put her in her crib or put her in her crib. I didn't put her, she slept in her bassinet beside me for like the first 6 months. I mean, she was my first, like you already get very protective with your first baby, but I just felt like, no, I want her beside me. She's going to be grown up, she's going to grow so fast, and it really does go so fast. In the moment, like with a newborn, it does feel like forever, right? Those are long nights sometimes, but I knew it wasn't going to be forever, and I wanted to be as close to her as possible and like keep her on me. You know how like when babies are born, the skin to skin contact, how important that is, and I really stuck to that. She was a holding baby, like her until she could like start moving around on her own. She was a holding baby, and I just always felt like I was like, I was thinking like when I would breastfeed her and she would fall asleep, I just would hold her in my arms and like do invoices for my business on my phone. Like I made sure I had like all these apps at the time. I just got all these apps for my phone so I could just do like hold her with one arm and then just do like invoicing. So I was like kind of juggling both. But I hardly ever would go put her down in her crib. I would just let her sleep on me all the time. And it ended up being, I was just so glad I did, because other people were like, no, you're spoiling her. I'm like, yeah, you can't spoil a baby. Like, I want her with me, and I'm not going to do I was like, I already knew like the cry it out method. And I'm just sharing what I did. In sharing this, I'm not saying you need to do it the way I have done it. Not at all. I'm just saying, this is what I did. I had people tell me, oh, do something else, and it just didn't sit well with me. So I'm just saying, like, in any situation, it's awesome to ask for advice. It's awesome to get wisdom, from other people outside of you, but still always run it through your own, like your internal guidance system, right? Like run it through your own intuition. How does it sit with you? If it doesn't sit with you, even if it's the best advice in the world, it's not going to serve you, right? So yeah, I was like, never the cried out method. I would just let her be with me. And because now she's almost 4 and she's an independent woman. I was like, at the time, everyone who was telling me, don't spoil her with too much love and attention, which I just thought that sounded crazy. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not going to like make her sleep like, 20 feet away from me if she can be next to me, like when she needs me most. Like a newborn baby like first 6 months or even, right? They need you. That's when they need you the most. Like physically need you. And anyway, I'm going on and on about motherhood, but this is some of the information and empaths and how we feel and learning to know that that's like your source of power. It is overwhelming, but this is like this, you have all those feels because you're capable of mastering them to the best of your ability. And it's your gift. And like being an empath is a gift. And it's like learning how to sift through all the feels and trust your intuition. I mean, this goes hand in hand, like motherhood, just these were all the messages I was getting that night. So, and just remember that you're strong. You're not weak for having all the feels. And that's what I was trying to like teach my sister. It's like working through like pain and trauma, even like more so when you are a feeling person. The goal, and I'm not saying everyone has their own path to walk. So it's like do what's best for you by all means. But I wouldn't want an empath to like shut themselves off or cut themselves off from their emotions. It's like that's not going to. Numbing yourself isn't going to stop that's like if you see it as a gift, like you know how they usually say like with shadow work or going through like difficult times, like the way forward is through. So, it's like if you stop right here, you're almost right there to get through it, and you can and then see it from a new perspective. So I know that's kind of like, it just depends on everyone's situation, right? I'm just trying to like frame it in a general sense, like of how have dealt with it. But it's really like being willing to take on that challenge and know that like you can feel all the feels and you can master it. So you're not being like a buoy in the ocean just getting rocked, by everyone else's waves of emotion, right? It's like you can find your strength and find your core, so you are solid when you are going out into the world. If you're an introvert or just if you're sensitive to other people, you just like, it's okay. You can find a way to master it. Even in Frozen, Elsa, like Elsa was able to get control of her power when she realized love, right? And it wasn't, she kept going back to fear because she thought fear was the way through, way to control it. And it was actually through love, right? As soon as she found love and like got centered in love, it was like, okay, I can handle this. I can handle like being a mom and, the idea of all the babies in the world and making sure every baby's loved, it's like, and things like that. But anyway, so that was my full moon first day of the year downloads, massive amounts of downloads. But empaths, one of the messages I got was like, we're warriors. It is a warrior task and ability. To be able to have that power, and being able to master it so you can use it to your benefit and not to cut you down, just again, finding that solid core. And in whatever way, if you need to go, I loved one of my favorite authors. She wrote about this character that was an empath, and the way that she was able to master it and get control of it was for her to like kind of like go off into the mountains, like remove herself from society. And then that way, like once she got away from everyone else's, emotional bodies, she could then like focus and realize, okay, this is like, she found finding her own song, her harmony. And then she could re-enter society knowing, okay, she had to get away from all the noise to find her song, and then she could re-enter society. So I thought that was a great way to describe it. It's like sometimes you just have to like unplug yourself so you can focus on like, okay, what is you and where do other people's emotions start? Because especially if you're coming into your powers and you don't know like what are your emotions, or what if it's somebody else's emotions affecting you being able to sift through that, it makes it easier to handle, right? And make it so much easier. So someone else's anger or sadness or whatever is not going to necessarily affect you, or you'll know like if you are feeling these emotions, you're like, okay, that's me, that's them. Okay. It just helps you get grounded. So anyway, all right, so we'll move on to the fun stuff. So one book I've been reading was Danielle LaPorte's awesome White Hot Truth book. I love it. Just even like the first chapter, I just got into it, but it's really beautiful, like all that hot pink. I love her. I love her speaking style. I mean, the way she speaks and just like, she just owns herself, and it's beautiful. As even I told you guys, I did a little story. So my little Fifth Element life. This is a Boss Goddess mandala, and I specifically wear this. I wear this for Boss Goddess, right? I wear it for multiple reasons, but one of the reasons is like as a reminder, I can be who I am. I don't need to change. I don't need to dress nicer or dress. Just dress differently. Or speak differently, or be different, or do something different in order to be loved, or reach my goals, or whatever. So this is just a reminder: we can show up just as we are. If you look at Danielle LaPorte, she's just as she is, and I admire that ability. It's like I remember like when I was first in business, I thought, do I need to dress nicer? Do I need to be a different kind of version of me in order to be successful in my business? And I was like, no, I just need to own who I am without apology and just be me. And that I would say that for everybody. You don't have to dress differently in order to be successful. It's like there's all kinds of people, role models out there doing their own thing. They're not like, if you notice, they're probably not all the same, right? They're not like everyone dresses like this and talks like this and this and this and this and this. everyone's different and unique, and just embracing that uniqueness. So that's why I wear the Boss Goddess ring, to remind me, among other things, to remind me that I can be as I am. I can show up. I can give, like, share what wisdom I have, and be of service to people in the way that I'm able to, without thinking I need to do, like fireworks or something, or be, like bells and whistles. So I can be here, share space with you guys, and contribute, like, what I've gone through to the collective to help benefit, right? And that's for everyone, like, sharing our light. Everyone can share their light. Don't hold it back. If anything, you're doing a disservice, like, especially like for introverts. We're all, I'm an introvert. Like, hiding ourselves behind, a wall and never showing up in some way, that even if, like, finding a way to show up and share what we have in a way that can still be comfortable for us and get outside our comfort zone a little bit, you can still do that. People will benefit so much. It's difficult. Like, no one can find you or find how amazing you are if you hide. So being visible in some capacity, there's all kinds of ways now with introverts, right? Behind a computer screen. Okay, so we'll talk about an oracle deck I got. So Elise from Wild Moon Woman, she mentioned this in one of her videos, like end of the year videos. I went out and got this deck. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It is so beautiful. This is my third Alana Fairchild deck. I am a fangirl of hers, apparently. But the Mother Mary Oracle has been beautiful. I love Isis, and I love the Lightworkers. It's amazing how, like, all these decks are, like, so good. I'm like, I don't know how Alana Fairchild does it, but here, I'll show you. And I did talk about this, right? I did mention this in one of my videos. So, here's the beautiful backings. And look at how beautiful the artwork is. Sorry for the glare. They're so beautiful. So beautiful. And I told you the first card I pulled, I started to tear up. I was like, oh my gosh, it's already making me cry. This is gonna be great. It was making me tear up in a beautiful way, though. Like the first card and reading the message in the guidebook really just brought out all, speaking of empaths, emotions. So, and then I was going to start, here, we'll talk about some, there's the Oracle deck I bought. I've been trying to be good, but yeah, my wish list grew over the 31 Days of Tarot by Ethany, everyone's videos. But I was going to share, so also for empaths too, so this is like the self-care message that came with all my downloads, like us being empaths or warriors, taking on the challenge, or learning our gifts. It's not always easy. I was thinking, like, I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I call it's like my fire practice. And I was thinking, like, it's not easy to learn that. It's actually, it's very enjoyable, and it does so much healing for me in regards to just, like, working out a lot of stress, and it's a very warrior format, right? But I was just thinking about how, like, it's easy to give up on something, but you can't get good at it unless you hone yourself with it. So being an empath is like, you need to, like, find the path forward, the pathway through for your gifts to really blossom and evolve. So don't look at it as a curse. How about that? Like, don't look at it as a curse. There's a blessing, there's a silver lining to that, to your powers and your ability. And also the fact that, like, when you finding a way through helps other people find a way through as well. So whether that's through the dark night of the soul, like sharing how you get through, that's a benefit to everybody. So with that said, salt baths, like daily salt baths for empaths. I love Dana Claudette, or I say Dana Claudette. She's a feng shui. She does, like, the Tao of Dana, feng shui expert. Beautiful soul. I absolutely adore her. She is, like, what really got me into feng shui, like a couple years ago. But she highly recommends, especially, like, I guess even if you're not an empath, but if you, like, say if you, like, work at a hospital and you have, like, all this, there can be a lot of, different emotions inside of a hospital. It's like, whatever your job is, or just dealing with difficult people, or whatever it is, and it kind of just makes you not sit easy with yourself at the end of the day. Going home, taking a bath, like a cup of baking soda, like a dollop of apple cider vinegar. I do Epsom salt, a cup of Epsom salt, a cup of Dead Sea salt, and then, like, one of these things on top of it. I just started adding these. So these Obviously, there's all kinds of things, but bath bombs. But I was going to show you guys. I just got some of these this week. I've tried this one. That one was a lot of fun. And I do these with my daughter too. So, yeah, these are pretty amazing so far. So it's like got some different flavors. And then I was going to share, these are not cheap at all, but these are like the longest lasting bath bombs I have ever had. Like Earth Fare here in Tennessee sells them. I don't know. I need to find a way to bulk buy these, but these are amazing. They last forever, and your skin feels so smooth. So I get really dried out skin. I found out like if you do Reiki or energy healing or channeling, that also dries out, that can dry you out too. So more reason why you need to make sure you stay hydrated, drink lots of water, drink like crystal infused, quartz infused water. But also I found this to be, especially for wintertime, this has been super, super amazing for keeping your skin nice and soft. My skin gets dried out so easily. So I had to share. Yeah. Oh, and then this is a eucalyptus spray, which I think my mom got this for me for Christmas, but she's been using this for like a year or so. My sister-in-law, I think, found this company, but this is you can make these yourself. I really do like their formula. And I just spray this in the shower. Obviously, if you spray it in like your bath or your shower, don't look up because it burns if it hits your eyes. But this is amazing for making that spa-like environment in your bathroom. It is so perfect. So yeah, Eurospa, the eucalyptus oil, and also I don't use this even like, obviously it's great for if you have colds, but even if you don't have a cold, it's amazing. So okay. Also, while we're here, I got this yesterday at the Phoenix and Dragon in Atlanta, this massive metaphysical shop, and I got some Juniper Wood. It looks like Palo Santo, right? So I haven't even tried it out yet. I was like, ooh, let me try this for you guys and see what it's like. I obviously like, well, it wasn't wood, but cedar. Cedar's amazing for smudges. Look at that piece of wood. So let's burn this. Doesn't smell like anything. It smells like wood. But I was going to burn this for you guys. And I was going to talk about, so I have been using the Sacred Creators Oracle religiously this month, and the story cards, Mother Mary, and for client readings, I have been doing a lot of the in-person sessions. So I like to use like a nice, let's say like something that's easy to get messages from really quickly, because if you're doing a lot in those sessions, I like to use something that can give me answers really quickly. So the Morgan Greer, love this deck, love it. And the Lumina, and the Star Tarot. I've been loving the Star Tarot. So this can give you like a lot of messages and go really deep, but if you just need to do like a quick reading with it, you can still do that with that deck. But this smells very earthy, woodsy, and spicy. This is fascinating. Okay, so this is Juniper. I was just trying to see. It's a different kind of smudge, but I thought, why not? I was going to tell you also, so the Juniper Wood is for guards against ghost, accidents, and sickness, anti-theft protection, and summon the Thunderbird. Involving weather, and it's protection against ghosts and thieves. So okay. All right, so there's that. It does smell really nice. It smells very campfire, to be honest. It smells good, though. You know how Palo Santo has that nice, clean, like, not spicy, but clean scent. It smells so high vibe. I was trying to think of anything else we needed to talk about. So, yeah, massive full moon. I can't wait to see what this next full moon does. I normally I don't have... This past full moon was just so much going on with it. And anyway, I was going to share 2 other things in case of any artists that are interested. I got these for the kids and me. So I got this is also at the Phoenix and Dragon metaphysical shop. So this is made by the company, the Peter Popper Press, which makes they make gorgeous journals, like hardcover journals. I think, I know Barnes & Noble sells them. So I got these. I was like thinking like an oracle deck type style thing to play around with. And then these are the ones like with the black or the black card sets that have like the rainbow underneath, and you use like a little wooden stylus to draw on. So in case anyone was interested, I was like, I got these. The kids absolutely adore these, so I was like, that was a win-win. And then I guess like one more thing while I have you guys, I have been doing this for several months now. Rosemary oil on my heart chakra, like as a daily thing. Like I just like will drip it down and like rub it right in between my, like right on my heart chakra. So I feel like that is a nice heart opener. It feels really good to me. I feel like the days I don't do it, I feel like I notice something, I just notice it's not there. So I feel compelled to do it. And crystals. Okay, I'm still like daily carry one of these or both of them, the rainbow moonstone and the lapis. I love these stones. These are like my working palm stones. And then I just got these. So this is blue halite. It looks like turquoise, but it's brighter than turquoise. Look how gorgeous it is. And in Orosoma, I love the Hierophant returned and the star returned, and it's like this color turquoise over gold, or the magenta, this beautiful like purple magenta over gold for the star return. So I was like, I had to get that. I love the Hierophant on that. And then the Amazonite, if that's the right way to pronounce it. So I got these two little stones, and I've been working with a piece of beautiful citrine that another gorgeous soul gifted me when I went out to California. So anyway, there is that. So there's a lot. So deck wise, though, I did a great reading with Gypsy Palace, or personal readings, and Vision Quest, and I forgot to mention that in 31 Days of Tarot. Vision Quest is one of my personal decks I use and love. That the guidebook is gorgeous, the messages are gorgeous. It's just so good. I forgot to mention it. I don't even know why. It's just like, I know I grab it when I need it, and I don't use it every day. So anyway, I think that's everything. And I have been using the Color Gypsy still, and the story cards. And this is the card I pulled for us yesterday. That was a big day. I've been also keeping track, so I try to the days of the week are all corresponding to planets. So Tuesday, I think, is Mars. So I'm like, that's a warrior. That's a day for getting stuff done, right? And really getting some action and momentum going, and using that energy, harnessing that energy. So I thought that was very beautiful way of the spark of hustle. And that corresponds to the star in tarot. So at the very least, like on Tuesdays, even if you're not necessarily able to get like actions done, you can at least like start thinking about like, okay, what actions can you take to really harness the momentum of like every day of the week. I thought that was kind of cool. So I think that's everything for right now. It's a busy month. So, and also let me say, I'm still doing free mini sessions. I almost forgot. Free mini sessions for anyone who is interested. This is in regards to if you have any trouble, if you're having any struggles around with your business and growing it, how to grow it, if you have any, dealing with fears of being visible, or how to really implement a good daily, weekly strategy or action plan to grow your business, and what can you possibly do to make it, how can you grow it without burning yourself out? So anything around that, or if you're thinking about starting something new, or a side gig, or a side project of some sort, I would be happy to talk to you. So that's what my free mini sessions are for. And basically anything that you're feeling stuck around and you're needing, you just would like to connect with me to help figure out how to get past it, move through it, move forward, to reach your goals. And obviously, I love the idea of us being able to be financially independent, and being truly able to put value out into the world, but also get paid to do it. Being paid to do it, and not just in a scarcity way, but in a beautiful way that like money supports us. So whatever business you're running or whatever you do, you're worthy and deserving of being paid for it. So, and being paid well for it. So yeah, again, if you're putting out value into the world, it doesn't have to be all about burnout and sacrificing yourself in order to make that happen. You can have it come back to you. So we give and receive. So, and if you are interested in a mini session, you can schedule that in the link below, and I'd be happy to talk to you. So I hope everyone has a lovely rest of your month and enjoying the 31 days of tarot. And let's see what new decks we all decide to get, because everyone's a wish list and everyone's deck collections are like, oh my gosh, I need all the decks. So have a great day.